Once there was a girl who refused to spin, no matter how much her mother pleaded. Her idleness angered her mother so greatly that one day, she struck the girl in frustration. The girl began to weep loudly, and as fate would have it, the queen was passing by in her carriage. Hearing the cries, the queen stopped and entered the house to investigate. The queen asked the mother why her daughter was weeping so bitterly. Embarrassed to admit her daughter's laziness, the mother lied, saying, "My daughter spins endlessly, but I am too poor to provide enough flax for her to work with." The queen, delighted to hear this, exclaimed, "I love spinning more than anything. Bring your daughter to the palace. I have plenty of flax, and she can spin as much as she wishes." The mother, eager to see her daughter off, readily agreed. The girl was taken to the palace. At the palace, the queen led the girl to 3 large rooms, each filled to the brim with the finest flax. "Spin all of this for me," said the queen, "and when it is done, you shall marry my eldest son. Your industry will be your dowry." The girl was horrified. She knew she couldn't spin even a fraction of the flax, no matter how hard she tried. Left alone, she wept for 3 days, too overwhelmed to even touch the spinning wheel. On the 3rd day, the queen returned and asked why no work had been done. The girl, thinking quickly, explained that her grief at leaving her mother's house had paralyzed her. The queen accepted the excuse but warned, "You must start tomorrow." When left alone again, the girl didn't know what to do. As she gazed out the window in despair, she saw 3 peculiar women approaching. The first had a broad, flat foot, the second a drooping lower lip that hung over her chin, and the third had an unusually broad thumb. They stopped outside her window and called up to her, asking why she was so upset. The girl explained her predicament. The women offered to help her, saying, "If you invite us to your wedding, do not be ashamed of us. Call us your aunts and let us sit at your table. We will spin all the flax for you." The girl eagerly agreed. She invited the women inside, cleared space in the first room, and watched in awe as they began their work. Each woman took on a role. One drew the thread and treaded the spinning wheel. The second wetted the thread with her lips, and the third twisted and struck the thread, causing finely spun yarn to fall to the floor. Their work was magical, and the first room was quickly cleared. The girl hid the 3 spinners from the queen and showed her only the impressive piles of yarn. The queen praised her industriousness. The spinners continued their work until all 3 rooms were empty. The girl, now assured of her fortune, thanked the 3 women. Before leaving, they reminded her, "Do not forget your promise to invite us to your wedding. It will secure your happiness." When the queen saw the rooms empty and the yarn ready, she arranged the wedding. The king's son, impressed by his bride's apparent skill and diligence, praised her endlessly. The girl, remembering her promise, asked, "May I invite my 3 aunts to the wedding? They were very kind to me, and I wish to honor them." The queen and the bridegroom readily agreed. On the day of the feast, the 3 peculiar women arrived in unusual attire. The bride greeted them warmly, saying, "Welcome, dear aunts." The guests murmured in surprise at the sight of these strange women. The bridegroom, curious, approached each of them. First, he asked the woman with the broad, flat foot, "How did you come by such a foot?" She replied by treading. Then he turned to the second woman and asked, "How did you come by such a drooping lip?" She answered by licking. Finally, he asked the third woman, "How did you come by such a broad thumb?" She replied by twisting the thread. Alarmed, the bridegroom declared, "My beautiful bride shall never touch a spinning wheel again." From that moment on, the girl was freed from the task of spinning and lived happily as a princess, never forgetting the 3 women who had saved her from despair